Hi guys, uh, I hope you guys are good. I want to do this video. I think it's gonna be a short one, but it's inspired by the video I saw. But I was trying to search right now to see what's konje video kabani, and I can't find it. But the video was talking about how, as parents, we need to be careful how we name our children because they say children can grow up to live up to the meanings of their name. I don't know if it's always true, but I've seen it happen. I've seen children that were badly named, and it might be a coincidence, really, but it made me think really honestly about how I named my children, and I felt like could their names mean something that they might interpret for themselves differently from what I was thinking or what we were thinking when we were naming them. Guys, I'm just going through some work here while I'm doing this story time. It's not story time really, it's just sharing. And maybe we can just have a conversation too in the comment section. And you can talk about also how you named your children and how you think. Are you happy? Are you happy with the names that you gave to your children? Would you want to change the names right now? Or if you were given a choice to do so, in fact, you can change the names. And yeah, do you feel like there is a chance that your children's names might be interpreted differently from what you meant? Okay. So I had my daughter, the firstborn, when I was 25 years old. Okay. And it was both our first child, me and her dad. And her dad is the only child at home. Like, he is his mom's only child, and he is his dad's. Or his dad has two kids, but not from the same mom, and they did not grow up together. So he's the only child, and also he lost his parents very early on in his life. So he's just the only one basically in his family left. He does have family, like his father had a brother who is still living, and that brother is married, who is now my mother-in-law, to who is now my mother-in-law, and they've got kids, and the kids also have kids. So it is it's not a big family, but yes, that is his family. But like people that come from his mom and dad, he is the only one at home. So when my daughter was coming, I wanted really for her to be named after him, for her name to represent being that a very significant and important part of him. And at the time, obviously, we were younger, so it's not like when we had her, we knew we were going to have other children. So we did not know that, we did not have a plan on how we were going to name, other children. Like other people will have names of their children match or something, or they start with the same letter. We did not have that plan at all. We were not even thinking about it. So I wanted that name to represent that, and that's the reason actually that she is very close to her dad, because he was so happy when we had her. He was so excited when we had her. I remember at the hospital, even the nurses and the people that because I was in the shared ward. I think there was like 3 or 4 of us in that ward, and people were like, "Yo, I've never seen umuntu ojabule kanjena to have a baby. He wouldn't leave the hospital." The nurses will have to say, Baba, you might have to leave now. Your wife needs to rest," which I wasn't even a wife then. And so his name is Mlungisi, and basically thought of an idea of changing that name to a female name, which is Lungisa. Lungisi means the one who fixes things, the one who makes things right, the one who completes things. So it was going to be the same name for Lungi, but it was just going to be female. And also, I felt like she was also coming to fix that part of him that longed to have um, a family member, or someone that was from the same people as he was from, which was his mom and dad. So I feel like it was appropriate in that. It is a pressure name a little bit, you guys, because if you are Lungisa, it means that you are here to fix things. So I don't know, maybe the universe is going to expect a little bit more from her. And honestly, unintentionally so, I think even as parents, we sort of tend to expect a little bit more from her than we do from the other kids. And I say it's unintentional, but I find that it is like that, and I don't like that we do that. So it's something that I try to work on as a mom, to not put her under pressure just because she is the firstborn. But yeah, her other name is the meaning of this one is the same as Lungisa. She is Andisa. Andisa means the one who brings more. I feel like she was gonna bring more love, more joy, more. And she was a girl as well. We had many girls at home already. So in my family, I was like, yeah, another girl. Even though we were still very happy to have her. And so she was going to bring more. And I hope that she interprets that as, more will come her way, more joy, more love, more kindness, and more money, for herself, that she's gonna, more wealth. Let me say that, let me not really say money, more wealth. And she will just have more. I hope that that's how she will interpret it. So those are her two names. And then we had my son. My daughter was born in 2004, and my son was born in 2006. So when my son was born, oh, that's the one I struggled with, because I've always, like I've said before, I've always expected that I was going to have girls, because at home everybody has girls. I feel like there was just less chances of me having a girl. So I think I had girls' names already, and she wasn't. I found out late in my pregnancy that it was not late, really. I found out normal time, but I just didn't believe it. I kept wanting the doctor to confirm that it really was what he was saying it was, because I thought he was making a mistake for some reason. So then yes, so then I so Amandla, I had a name ready for him when I was giving birth, but I wasn't happy with it. And quite frankly, his father, their father, was not really into. He would be like, when I suggested, and I was like, that's good as well, and I'll be like, this one, and then he's like, good as well, men. So I had a name ready for Amandla. Obviously, I'm talking about the Zulu name, but I also had another name which was English. But I really was, earlier on in my life, I've always thought I'm not going to name my children with English name. I don't understand why we were given English names, But I had a name that I really liked, and it was English, and it was Gift, and it was also and I also had Joy for him. And I had another Zulu name that I didn't really like that much. So, but then when I was giving birth, I had thought that I will name him. I will just convert the name Gift to Zulu, which is Spiwo, and that is also his grandfather's name, meaning that his father's name. So we had changed it. So he is actually named after his grandfather, but it's an English name, so he is a gift. And he really is a gift, because I did not expect a boy at all. I wasn't prepared that I was going to be raising a boy. I thought I was going to have all girls. So he is so I had Gifts and Joy, as you know, the names that were going to be his names, and I wasn't sure. I really wanted him to have a Zulu name, because I was like, it just don't make no sense whatsoever for you to not have a Zulu name when you are Zulu. So then when I was in the hospital, his grandmother, who is my mother-in-law that I was talking about earlier, uh, had called and spoken to his father, and she had said, I don't know if she had heard this name somewhere or thought about it or dreamt about it, I don't know, but she sent a name, Amandla, for Amandla. And I thought it was such a beautiful name. I had never heard it before. Amandla means power, and I had never heard it before, and I was like, that is such a beautiful name. Funny enough, you guys, she does not remember doing that. We always remind her, you know. No, would be like, but you name, she'll be the ones who say, he has such a beautiful name, Amandla, and we'll be like, but that was the name we got from you, but she does not remember. So Amandla ended up being Amandla means power, you know, power to do whatever, you know, power to do everything, you know, it's all in you. That's how I interpret it. And I've never asked my kids how they interpret their kids. I actually think that would be such a great conversation to have. But he is Amandla, Gift, Joy, all of them are in his birth certificate. Funny enough, my younger sister named her daughter Ulondo, who's actually my daughter now, and she's all of us as daughters, because I have three other sisters. My younger sister passed and left. She left as a gift basically before she passed, because Londo was so young. And she also named her Joy, so she is Londwa Joy. And it's Londra has such a significance. It will blow you away if I talked about what Londra means with regards to her birth, but I do feel like that's a really personal story for her that I wouldn't really share. But yeah, she has the same name. And my older sister Unogwanda had a son after I had Amandla, and she had liked the name Amandla, but her son is Manda, because her father is a vendor, so she converted that name to Manda. So basically, my son has the same name as my nephew and my other niece. Anyway, I'm getting off track. And then Siposetu, my last born. Siposetu, guys, I don't know if, I think I've mentioned that before. When I had Amandla, my second born, I was 27, because he comes 2 years after Lungisa, and I was like, I think I'm done with babies. I think I'm done with, and you know how when you are young, people are always just like trying to run your life, and the people are like, no, you are too young, you are still going to get married and whatever. And then what if you get married to someone else and they want a baby, and I'm like, aibo. So like, even when I was going to give birth to Amanda, I actually wanted to have my tubes tied, but then I decided against it. You know, sometimes you have to rethink something. If everybody is saying it might not be the right decision, so I was like, okay, I can do it later. Hey, did I do it later? So then Amanda was born in 2006, and then I hope I'm getting the years right. But Siposet is born in 2010. I did not expect that one, but I don't know why I did not expect it, because girl, your tubes, the things are still flying in your tubes, going up and up, going that way. The freedom, the birds were flying in your womb, wherever they want to fly. And so, with Siposet, you guys, funny enough, people always think that her name is because of, her condition and all that, her being a special needs child. It actually has nothing to do with that, because Siposet was actually not born with her condition. She wasn't born with her condition. Siposet, I had normal pregnancy. I've done that story on my main channel, how I became a special needs mom. Her condition and everything that comes with it came when she was 2. So she had normal development, everything, until she was 2 years old. It is actually amazing how her name has had such a different or an even significant meaning from what we originally. for me, she was just a gift because I did not expect that I was going to have another child. But when she came, it was like, okay, we're having another child, I guess. you know. So I named her Siposethu, meaning our gift. She is our gift, and she also has two other names. One name is okay. Let me talk about the name Siposethu. So Siposethu means our gifts, but also it has meant so much to us as parents. Siposethu, that name, because that is the one parenting experience that has raised us as just human beings. The two of us, we have grown as human beings. This is where we have adulted in parenthood when it comes to Siposethu. It has taught us the most. It has challenged us the most in parenting her, in parenting our other kids, in dealing with our families, in dealing with life in general. When I say that she has been a gift, I mean she has been a gift in our in our lives. Like, I wouldn't be as grown up as I am right now if I did not have Siposethu, and if parenting her had not gone the way that it has gone. Yeah, I would not be. I know that for sure. So yeah, her name really just means that, Siposethu, she is our gift. But I also had given her name Africa because she was born in 2010, and around the time where in 2020, remember, it was the first World Cup to ever come to an African country, I believe in South Africa. So it just made sense. She's one of the 2010 babies, so I named her Africa. And then my mom names every single child at home. When you come home with a child, she names them. But with my children, she would always say, you have perfect name. Like when I had Lungisa and whatever. And remember, she already had many grandchildren, so she was running out of names. But I would complain jokingly that my mom never named my children. And my... oh yes, so with Siposethu, she did. When Siposethu, that's another name, you guys, that would make you think really like names are so significant to children. Because when I came home with Siposethu, I would always go home when I gave birth now, even when I didn't live at home. But she named Siposethu Usenami. Usenami means God is still with me. When my mother explained it, she said she's had so many kids, so many grandkids. Everything always goes well during birth, and the family keeps getting bigger. For her, it means God is still with her. And guys, that name has been significant as well when I think about it, because even recently with the surgery, I mean, God has been with us through a lot, things that we didn't think we were going to get through when it comes to Siposethu. And it really, I thought about it even when we went through surgery, especially when we went for our last appointment with the doctor, and the doctor was looking at Siposethu, and he was like, it's only been 2 months. And then we're like, yes. And he's like, no, it's supposed to be 3 more months before this child is active like this, and he's sitting on the wheelchair. And we're like, we know, even the prescription that the doctor gave us when we were there, because he was like, no, this baby will still be in pain, because they're usually in pain for a while. And I have a prescription in my bag. I haven't gone to get any of the medication because Siposethu is okay. And really, honestly, this was one procedure that we went through that I think I had everybody pray, even people I didn't know. I think I was asking even people in, I don't know, in malls or something, that pray for me. Everybody that knew me was praying for that surgery, because this is what I was like. In my mind, I was like, God, even if you put all of my prayers on archives for now, and just answer this one this year. I just need this procedure to go well. And I think that he did that, and which shows that God is still with us, like, honestly. So yeah, I don't know, you guys, I just wanted to share that. Those who haven't had kids, give names a little bit more thoughts. Don't be naming your kids Beyonce. But they might become Beyonces. Yay, who knows, Hey, hi, Rihanna. Hi. Think about put in a little bit more thoughts on your children's names. But yeah, it's also up for interpretation. How do they interpret it? Because other names can put children under pressure. I always think like parents that name their kids Unobuhle. I remember Onobuhle when we were at school. They were always very beautiful. And I always thought, how did the parents know? Because what if your child is not Nobuhle after you name your child Nobuhle, eh? And then the child is pretty, and they are really pretty. Like you're like, hey, what would happen? What would happen if this child was not pretty? So give it a little bit more thought. It mustn't put kufana novusizwe of Vusumuzi. Hey, got some pressure engaki black text on the name. But it also depends on the interpretation. What is the interpretation? And maybe now that I'm doing this video, it feels to me that maybe it is important that as a parent you have that talk with your child on what you had in mind when you name them. I forgot my Mlungis's grandmother, not his mother, because his grandmother recently passed like a few years ago. So she passed after meeting my kids. His parents never met my kids, but his grandmother met my kids, and she had given the name to Ulungi. And Ulungi, this name, Ntombela. And Loki thanks me so much. She said, ma, at least you put this name on my thing. But as she's on my ID, because she's like, yo, this is like a name of a grandmother, Ntombela. But I think as she's growing up, she's recognizing the and it came after we had done birth certificates and everything, so I didn't even have time to consider it. But when we are back, at home, they always remind you, Lungil, yeah, your name is Ntombela, and but I think as she's growing up, she's recognizing also that's a connection with her grandmother, so she might actually decide that she's gonna put it on her ID one day. But I can just imagine calling her Ntombela if I had taken that name. But it is special that she got to, and she didn't. Did she name she actually named the kids late. I think Amanda, she had named him Vusumuzi too, which I also feel like it's a pressure name, like I said. And she will call them those names when they are back at home, or when she's around them. But they were never on the birth certificate because she would do it so late later on, and she would just start calling them by those names. And yeah, anyway, you guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys growing this channel. We will try and be consistent on this channel. As the stories come, I will post them anyway. Thank you so much. Please share the video with your friends, with your family, and even with strangers. Ngithanda kakhulu.